The first picture that comes to mind when you think of a high school orchestra is probably this one. A warmly lit stage with uniformed figures dressed in black and a concertmaster tuning the rest of the orchestra. Or maybe you think of soloists when you hear the word orchestra, performing as individuals rather than as a collective whole. But whatever you imagine, orchestra is a group performance of music. Beautiful, captivating, perfect. But, like all performances, the real magic lies backstage. There's a small door hidden on the side, the rehearsal room, where everything is not as perfect. Here, the spacing is slightly off. The lighting isn't spot on, and the room seems cluttered, even when it's completely empty. Cellos may rest perfectly aligned with one another, but that all goes out the window when the musicians enter the room. Breaking the silence as they take out their instruments to warm up before ensemble rehearsal, it's far from perfect. Sometimes orchestra can be tiring when you rest for over 30 measures. Sometimes the amount of technique written on one page can be bewildering and truly unbelievable. But regardless of the difficulty, there's always joy to be found in even the smallest of moments. Like getting lost in the beauty of the music, or playing in unison at the dynamic range that the conductor wants. Music requires structure, and here at DSA, Ms. Crawford brings that to the table, but with an added twist. Fun-loving and energetic, Ms. Crawford's passion for music and teaching is clearly evident through each and every interaction she has with her students, and the passion is not hers alone. In the chamber ensemble, students take ownership of their own music, taking on opportunities to lead their peers in practices, whether it be conducting or taking charge in sectionals. It's clear that each and every person here loves what they're doing, working hard within their own sections and sometimes even outside with some rather unorthodox rehearsal methods. But when that bell rings, everyone puts their instruments away. Donning on their backpacks, they rush out the door to their next class. After all, musicians are students too. And as they leave the rehearsal room, they begin to blend in, indistinguishable from their non-orchestra counterparts. Filing into the empty classrooms, they begin to prepare themselves for the learning ahead. Like Kaylin, a cellist in the string ensemble. Kaylin's not just a cellist, but a strong student as well. Like many of her peers, she's enrolled in advanced and challenging classes, including Spanish 4, AP European History, AP Literature, and discrete math. But even though she's studious, Kaylin knows how to relax and enjoy herself, even in the context of class. Sometimes that might even mean discreetly glancing at her phone before diving right back into work. But Kaylin's not alone in terms of going above and beyond outside of orchestra. On the other side of the school, Rachel is hard at work as well, taking her responsibilities outside. Rachel isn't just a cellist at school, she's also on the tennis team. Having qualified for states, Rachel spends a lot of time on the court in preparation for it and even more. Whether it be the swings of her racket or the strings of her cello, Rachel's passion for what she does is apparent. Practicing everything daily, because practice makes perfect. Something that she's taught in both sports and orchestra alike. But just like rehearsals, not everything runs smoothly. Back in the classroom, there are days when it seems like things just won't go your way. Teachers are teaching new and challenging topics. Concepts that seemed easy suddenly become extremely complicated. Or just the general buildup of stress about upcoming exams with everything else going on. Sometimes in the midst of it, it just feels like you're all by yourself. But you're never really alone. As Rachel and Kaylin head towards their last class, they know that they'll see each other. Having been friends ever since they met through orchestra, they know that there will always be something to talk about, and there will always be someone to relate to. And there's never a dull moment between the two, with new and exciting things always coming up. Friendships like these are ones that stick, sharing moments anytime, anywhere. The conversations they have will never be empty. Empty, like the auditorium before a performance. But not silent. Hours before the concert even begins, orchestra students are already there rehearsing one last time, filling up the place with sound. And as they watch their peers perform before them, they too are filled with excitement, but a little fear as well. What if they mess up? But now it's time to perform, to take the stage and to show the audience all the work that they've put in these past days, weeks, and even months. But no matter how nervous they are, once they start, it all disappears. Playing alongside one another is something that they've done since the very beginning. Being on stage is almost natural now. And no matter how the performance goes, after the last note reverberates through the auditorium, they all look out and smile, as cheers erupt from the audience who are clapping for their amazing performance. On stage, it's all smiles. Hugs are shared between performers and conductors alike. The concert went well, and the process that led up to it was all worth it. In the end, orchestra at DSA isn't just about playing your instrument to perform beautiful music. It's about working together, building trust between one another, developing relationships, and building character. Orchestra students aren't just musicians, or academics, or even athletes, because orchestra is family.